Welcome into Rover Sports, guys, and we are live. We're still on the road this week. For some reason, my video did not upload yesterday, and I will be getting a new phone, the quality of my fellow sports host phone, hopefully tomorrow. Film reviews. The first thing I want to say for people that are going to watch this back and everything is that I understand, 100% that you guys come here to watch the film reviews of Jimmy Garoppolo and to come and watch some Niner content. And Jabari, how are you, my friend? But the film reviews will be going up Thursday night. I'm fully aware that the week will mostly be over. And Marcos, how are you? And I am fully aware it's going to be late. And then the Rams one will be up next Monday, and that'll be the end of the season. So I've loved the film reviews. I've loved you guys coming to this channel. It's been totally awesome. It's been a great ride. And the playoffs will also be really exciting. I'm also talking to Dalton, UCF, about some updates for the film reviews. We should be doing even playoff stuff too, like taking like 10 plays and like breaking them down in easier ways. So SB2, what's going on? Jabari, what a game for the Niners yesterday, scoring 44 points. Matt Breida with the winner. I mean, when they screwed up that onside kick, I was like, holy shit, this better not happen. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is the truth. I mean, it's not even a hot take anymore, but we were on the Jimmy bandwagon from the minute that the trade went down between John Lynch. So now he's the popular guy. Now everyone wants to hop on the Niner bandwagon, the Niner Empire. And you guys know I've been the Niner Empire since day one, since Jimmy was traded, since the CJ days. And it seems like 5 years ago since Hoyer was a quarterback. But holy shit, Jimmy Garoppolo is just the truth. The guy is the quickest release in the NFL, best footwork. We're now seeing Patriots fans start to say that they want to keep him instead of Tom Brady. I'm just, again, I say a little bit of pause, with the Tom Brady stuff. I want to see a full season. I believe in Jimmy, though, fully. Manny Flo, go Raiders. Yeah, that guy Downing is probably going to be gone. I just really don't like the Oakland Raiders and their play calling. And, again, being a fan of the Giants, not wanting to see the Eagles win, it was really tough. Yeah, interesting. I heard that, Jabari, that they tried to trade for Tom Brady, and then Bob Kraft shut it down. But with the current roster in San Francisco, I obviously Jimmy, I think Jimmy's a hell of an option. So pick one to start a franchise, Jimmy G, Wentz, or Trevor Siemian. My friend, Jet Central, he loves Trevor Siemian. He would pick Siemian maybe over Wentz or Jimmy G. For me, with the injury history, I am going with Jimmy Garoppolo. It is becoming a habit, Herman. All the wins are becoming a habit. Jimmy G, I'm going to get my thought in here about Jimmy Garoppolo. The guy is magic. Reuben Foster's believing. The defense is believing. I mean, the way they crapped the bed to end that first half, letting Blake Bortles go down the pike like that, it was crazy. And then the blocked extra point, that fucking blocked extra point, they didn't call anything. Because Jacksonville was offsides on the blocked extra point, and they let Blake Bortles go down the field, and then that lucky-ass throw to Jalen Strong in the back of the end zone, and I was losing my shit at the bar I was at. I was like, you got to be kidding me. We're finding ways to blow this game. But internally, Jimmy G knew what was up. Then the Kittle drive happened. The amazing throw to Trent Taylor happened. He changes momentum of a game. And Jimmy Garoppolo, now everybody's on Jimmy G's jock, and it's crazy. And we were really the first ones here at Rover Sports to show you guys, and we're going to keep it rolling. So, you know what, Frogger? I am a Giants fan, but the Niners are on the West Coast, and the Niner Empire is this channel. And I happen to love the Niner Empire. I happen to love Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch. So the Niners are really a team of mine now, I can say that. If the Giants and Niners play, boy, oh boy, would that be really, really hard. But also, I give respect to, I don't want to be a bandwagon fan of the Niners. I liked Kyle a long time, and you're going to see a lot of people just come in and say that they're Niners all the way now going forward. And Jabari, yeah, you guys still got work to turn me full into the Niners, but was I watching Giants Cardinals or was I watching Niners Jaguars? The answer is not Giants Cardinals. You know what, man? I think the Patriots still made a pretty decent decision. And Herman, thanks a lot, man. You guys are just tremendous people. I think that the Patriots are still going to be okay. I really do. And I think Tom Brady's still really elite, and I think he's going to be there for 3 more seasons. So Jimmy Garoppolo, the Patriots did Jimmy a solid. I mean, I really give the Patriots a ton of credit. Like me, Jet Central, the rest of the NFL, we shit on Bill Belichick and that Kelvin Benjamin call. We were all joking around saying it's fucking Patriots. It's going to happen again. They always catch the breaks. But the way the Patriots handled the Jimmy G trade was nothing but class. They didn't send him to Cleveland, and they basically communicated with John Lynch and said, Kyle, you will take care of this kid like he's our son, like we're sending him off to college. He's a wonderful young man. And they sent him to a franchise that has history like the Niners with 5 Super Bowl championships, with Kyle Shanahan, who is building a great culture there, with John Lynch, Robert Saleh, and a really solid foundation. And they dropped Jimmy into the Niners' laps. And I really give New England I really applaud them for the class that they handled this, because you're seeing this with the draft process right now, that where you end up as a player is incredibly important. I mean, when that guy Musgrave left Derek Carr started to struggle. You look at quarterbacks like Jared Goff and how Jeff Fisher almost ruined his career, how Nick Foles almost quit, guys like John Morton ruining careers. So, it really depends where you go. Herman, I agree, and I'm going to answer this question too in a broad sense, because I was getting this question a lot about the Niners and their prospects. And the funny thing about Jimmy Garoppolo is that when he heard that quote yesterday from Carlos Hyde about the Super Bowl, he immediately said, we have to talk to Carlos about that, because Jimmy Garoppolo is like a coach on the field. He is the bunker mentality of next game. And Carlos Hyde, he's within this culture. He's battled through the good times and the bad out of Ohio State. And I really don't mind him saying that at all. I am really totally on board with, the hype and everything. And I'm really sad this season is ending. And you look at the Niners, they're going to have a last place schedule. They might actually. Arizona, they're almost caught up with the Cardinals now, but I believe they're going to have a last place schedule. So next year, I mean, look at what the Rams are doing. Look at what the Saints are doing. No one was picking the Saints to win the South. So can the Niners win the division next year? Hell yeah. What I don't want the Niners to do, honestly, I don't want them to draft a diva wide receiver. Like, look at Cam Newton without Kelvin Benjamin. Cam Newton's comfortable without Kelvin, asking for the football. Tyrod is just as fine without Sammy Watkins. Like, if the Niners trade for like an Odell Beckham or get all crazy, just keep Jimmy Garoppolo content. The wide receivers and the weapons, if Jimmy loves Marquise Goodwin, like, keep it on, keep Jimmy Garoppolo content and don't bring in egos that can possibly derail the franchise. Like, look at Marshawn Lynch. He's been a distraction for the team. So just bring in quality locker room guys, and I totally agree. Minkah Fitzpatrick will be a great guy. Derwin James. John Lynch knows the secondary. It's totally fine. It's a touch-up, and this front seven is phenomenal. And it's really, really exciting right now to look at the Niners' direction. So I totally think that the San Francisco 49ers can win the West next year. And like Jet Central was alluding to, Pete Carroll and the Seahawks, they're totally on the decline. I mean, they had more penalty yards than total yards yesterday. I mean, it just shows you the state of that franchise that Earl Thomas went to the freaking Jason Garrett to say, get me the heck out of Seattle, man. I want to go home to Texas. So that was really, what transpired yesterday with Jason Garrett, and I completely agree. I'll answer some more questions now. Marcos, is Foles that bad, or is it just one game? What I saw tonight is the Eagles' defensive line. The Eagles' defensive line played really well in the second half of that game. I mean, Jalen Richard, Marshawn were running it well. Nick Foles is very gun-shy in the pocket. He can't go through his progressions. He has no pocket presence. So I don't think Nick Foles is beating the Saints or the Rams, and the Saints should come into Philadelphia. The way it's going to set out is I see all chalk in the NFC. I see the Rams beating Carolina, and I see the Saints beating the Saints are going to beat Carolina, and the Falcons are not going to beat the Rams. Then the Rams are going to go to Minnesota, but I know that the Saints will beat the Eagles. Herman, do you think that you guys got the Rams? Well, the Rams, if you think about it, Herman, the Rams are actually my Super Bowl pick to actually beat the Saints in the NFC Championship. And if they go on that long run, it's very hard for them to continue that kind of trajectory. They have Andrew Whitworth, they have Ogletree, they have a ton of veterans on that offensive line. Their offensive line has been so healthy. Jared Goff, there's not a whole lot of film on him. There's going to be a lot of coordinators that are leaving LA. There's going to be, off-season, deals to be made. When you get to the pinnacle, it's very hard to get back. And the Niners have all upward trajectory, all the hunger in the world. So I think that the Niners have a great chance of catching the Rams next season and winning the West. Another thought that I want to go on, and you guys can, of course, interject with questions. We can hang out here for about 15 to 20 minutes. You guys are awesome, and thank you. I think the Titans are beating the Jaguars this week. I think the Titans are going to be back in the playoffs. I think that the Chargers are out, and the Tennessee Titans, Marcus Mariota is heating up. So, I think that the Titans are there. Should Doug Peterson run the ball more? Heck yeah. He looks like Andy Reid out there. Terrible play calling. Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount, they can't get into a rhythm because those Eagles, they do not run the football a lick. So Doug Peterson, overrated as a play caller, kind of having a great year this year. I'm not ready to crown him yet, that's for sure. Hell yeah. That Rams-Niners rivalry is so back. If I had my vote for MVP, it's got to be Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley is my MVP candidate. He could take a screen pass and go to the house in an instant. So, agreed. I think the Eagles are one and done in the playoffs. You're 1,000% right, John. And I think that Rams-Vikings game will be great, but New Orleans, the Saints are at least getting to the NFC Championship. Dennis Allen, the defense is nasty. Marshawn Lattimore, Crowley, Vaccaro, freaking Jordan Cameron is unbelievable. So the Saints finally have a defense. They finally have a team around Drew Brees, and all Ted Ginn does is win games. I mean, the way that they shut down Atlanta, I mean, that was killer. So the Saints, they're going to wreck the Eagles in the playoffs. Hell yeah, Eagles are one and done, and let's hope it stays that way. I kind of agree a little bit. I think Carson Wentz is a sensational player, and now you're seeing Doug Peterson kind of just having like an Andy Reid-like tendency, with the way that he calls the plays. Other news that broke this weekend here, as we're kind of going forth with the storylines, is that Josh Rosen might be a New York Giant, and that's very exciting to hear. Josh Rosen's not going to be a Cleveland Brown. Do I blame Josh Rosen for going to the New York Giants? And my answer is probably not. If I was in similar shoes, I would handle it a little bit differently, a little more discreetly, of just kind of arguing with Hugh Jackson in a closed meeting. So I really think that Josh Rosen's going to be a New York Giant. And then looking down the draft boards, the Jets are either going to get Josh Rosen or Baker Mayfield, and who the hell knows what the Browns are going to do at number 1 and number 5. because DeShone Kizer, Hugh Jackson, I really think Hugh Jackson's a poor coach, because what Hugh Jackson does is he makes the game incredibly complicated for DeShone Kizer with his drops and everything, and how long he takes to get set to throw. And it's just really annoying watching Kizer, because if you put Kizer with like McVay or Bill O'Brien, like he would be totally fine. He has all the tools to get it done. Josh Rosen, 1,000% correct. But yeah, Niner Empire. It's been a hell of a ride though. Jimmy G is so legit, and everybody wants in on him. And if I were starting a franchise right now, he would be my guy, Jimmy Garoppolo, out of anybody in the NFL. Let's think about the guys that you'd put up there. You'd put up Carson Wentz. You would put up maybe Cam Newton. You would maybe, Big Ben is too old. Alex Smith is too old. So Carson Wentz is a guy that's had a great season, but Carson Wentz has just gotten hurt. And Jimmy G is more accurate than Carson Wentz and has a faster release than Wentz. Wentz is a better athlete at getting outside the pocket. So, yeah. Russell Wilson is definitely in that conversation for sure. But Jimmy G versus Carson Wentz, that's a legitimate argument. I mean, Jimmy G, in every single game, he's won the game. And he's played like the best quarterback in all of football. So, I mean, that is as legitimate as a question as you can get. So, Russell Wilson, heck yeah, Russell Wilson's up there on that list. Derek Carr, my gosh, Derek Carr. I mean, it's sad what's going on with him right now. I don't know if I believe in him. Yeah. Russell Wilson, I know that was a Dallas defense. Seattle's just falling apart. I mean, they have no coaching direction right now. The division is crazy. Arizona is headed completely towards dead. And it's sad. You know, they have guys like Honey Badger, Patrick Peterson, but they went with the aging Carson Palmer and David Johnson getting hurt. I mean, they have a lot of talent on that roster. It's just Bruce Arians' help and everything. And now you look at the division and everything that they're going to be in. For Arizona, I mean, holy shit, it is going to be just a long road back. And soon they're just going to kind of bottom out. Why do you think Cam is so inconsistent? I think that Cam is inconsistent because I think that he throws, the way he throws the ball, ton of power. Cam's a boomer bust kind of player. A lot of times he makes off schedule plays. So I think Cam, the best thing to get out of Cam is power running game and simplifying the game. And just letting Cam make off schedule plays, letting him throw 24 times a game, and so he can't ruin the game. With Jimmy Garoppolo, he's more of a volume player. You can throw it 35 times with him, and he'll know to hit the check downs and everything. But Cam's more of a big play guy. So that's why, I might mark him over Carson Wentz. Dak Prescott. Again, benefited from Ezekiel Elliott. That's exactly right. Dak's just a beneficiary of Ezekiel Elliott. He's a decent thrower of the ball. You look now at where he was drafted, and it kind of makes a little bit of sense. I mean, he really doesn't have an incredible upside in terms of how far he can throw the ball, how accurately he can throw the ball. So, yeah. Heck yeah, Jabari. I'm going to do that really soon, man. Me and my guy, Jet Central, are going to do a live stream. I mean, that's the only part. That's what's going to get us through the months of January and February. I kind of get that, man. I mean, Derek Carr is just, he's not the gunslinger he was. I mean, Derek Carr would throw it up to Amari Cooper. Like, I remember watching that game in Mexico City last year, Raiders-Texans, and having confidence that Derek Carr would find ways to win. I remember them getting down to the Bills, and I remember Derek Carr like, this guy's going to win this game. I'm confident in Derek Carr. Even against the Buccaneers last year, Derek Carr's going to find a way, and the magic is totally lost. I think it's from bringing in the free agency. I think it's with Jack Del Rio, the impatience of the organization, the turbulence of moving, Davis running the organization, and it's just it's not the young kids growing up anymore. The optimism is gone. Who should you guys target in free agency? I'm going to have to look at the free agent list, but obviously, some guys in the back end that can help out, maybe some guards and people of that nature. So I'm really going to have to, study that a little bit more. But yeah, and then I saw another question on Jameis Winston. I thought Jameis Winston played great right now and pretty much have ripped it from its existence. When I did Blaine Gabbert versus Colin Kaepernick videos, that was something special. I think that Tremaine Johnson's a guy like Jet Central was talking about him. Like, I think he's a really talented cornerback, Tremaine Johnson. So I'm definitely going to get more though into cornerback in the cornerback tape. Yeah, exactly. Brian Hoyer versus it was Hoyer versus the guy. It was Hoyer versus Jared Goff. That was a really fun game on Thursday night. Different teams. Todd Gurley's coming on now strong, so I think that that's going to be an interesting game. I think the Ravens should be able to win, so then it's going to be just playoff picture for all you guys rolling in right now. My playoff picture is Ravens going to Kansas City, which will be great, and Titans will lose to the Jacksonville Jags, but the Titans will win this week. Solomon Thomas does look great. The way that the thing's going to go down in the AFC is this. The Titans are going to win just like Auburn beat Georgia in football, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to basically win over the Titans in the playoffs when it matters at home. The Jags defense will rise to the occasion. But in the AFC, I also see Kansas City. I see Kansas City beating New England the second week of the playoffs. No one's talking about Kansas City right now and Andy Reid. No one wants to give him any respect. Kansas City's going to come out of nowhere, shock some fools. Alex Smith time in Kansas City. So then I have Chiefs and Steelers in the AFC Championship, and I also have the Rams beating the Vikings and the Saints beating the Eagles. So that's a little bit of what I got right now. Wow, you guys are hopping in. Love the numbers. This channel, guys, you guys have been awesome for its growth and everything. I love talking football. It's great. So, yeah, is a Cowboy Edge guy like Lawrence on the board? Is that what's going on? I mean, Jason Garrett, guys, what does he have to do to keep his job? Jason Garrett needs to at least get to the NFC Championship to keep his job next year. Bruce, what do you think? What do you think Garrett needs to do to keep his job?
Just make the playoffs. I believe he makes the playoffs.
But even if they're one and done,
I believe Jerry Jones really likes him.
No.
He's pretty popular. That's my opinion.
Okay, I disagree because look, the Packers beat them last year in the second round, and
they're not going to the NFC Championship. They're not that good.
If they win, they need to at least win one playoff game. And Zeke is going to be healthy next year. That defense will be better.
Exposed as a better than average quarterback, but a sophomore slump.
Yeah, my guy Bruce here is a co-host of the show. You can catch him on a lot of live streams. And usually, I have 4 co-hosts that do the radio show with me. And Jet Central's a guy too. Not in shape for the camera. 49ers, yeah. I just saw that comment there on the defense. I'm sorry, but I really loved the way that the Niners defense played. The Niners defense came to play yesterday. And the way that they shut down Blake Bortles, Dante Johnson's going to be gone. He frustrates me. That PI really pissed me off there in the second quarter of that game. So Dante's going to be gone. But Witherspoon's out there making plays. Colbert is a find. Trent Taylor is a find. I think that the Eagles, with Carson Wentz, Marcos, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles, unfortunately, I think the Philadelphia Eagles, unfortunately, next year it's going to be hard to sustain the magic. I think that this is a time when you got to cash in. Look at Atlanta; it's hard to go up the up the draft board. George Kittle, DeMarcus Lawrence is a big time free agent talent. I mean, that guy dominated the NFL. He's a Player of the Year candidate. If you pair him, holy crap, with Solomon Thomas and then with DeForest in the middle, you are going to be incredible. So I appreciate all the comments. Yeah, winning the Super Bowl. Yeah, exactly. Jason Garrett. I mean, come on. He's as mediocre can be. So, yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think he's pretty mediocre. I thought the draft was fantastic. I can't wait till the next draft, you know? And the way this starts out, I mean, it's so rare to see a franchise kind of go like this, 5-win, 6-win season, but now you are all set to rock, with the draft position next year. Like it's going to be totally great. You don't need a quarterback at all. Wow. Wow. Can kind of see how the sports fury is now. Yeah, I like a linebacker. Yeah, a linebacker. I mean, to replace like what Bowman brought. I mean, Coyle's playing now, Ruben's playing, so just one more guy. Oh man, Jabari, I don't know if I could be the sports fury. I'm not funny as those guys. Those guys are hysterical guys. I think you got to do it. You got to make him the highest paid guy. You got to lock him up. Hell yeah, I'd lock him up. You can't let a guy like that walk. Get him in. He's the guy going forward. I freaking love Garoppolo, and Garoppolo is the truth, and you need to do everything you can. And this isn't hyperbole. I've seen the talent, and when you see the talent, Jimmy is just, I mean, the way he carries himself in that locker room, I mean, guys, to go into that situation that he was in, to beat the Bears, to come back against Houston like he did, hell yeah, you got to keep Jimmy Garoppolo, no doubt about it. Like 1,000%, you need to keep him. And do whatever you can, because that's the most important position in sports. And Carlos Hyde, you've plenty of cap space. Why not cash in and go win a chip next year? I like the Rams. Minnesota going at home, though. Could Minnesota, though, I know that this is too simple, but if you shut down their running game, I mean, is he really going to is Minnesota really going to be incredibly successful in the playoffs with Keenum there at the helm? I mean, the Rams are so dangerous. I totally agree. I see that, John. I totally agree. Like, I see them becoming like what Dan Quinn was last year. Todd Gurley's that good. Ogletree's that good. They're mature enough. So, hell yeah. I do remember him. And he could still come up and play, Taco Charlton. Some of these rookies take a little longer to get out of the womb, like Josh Doxson, like our guy Laquan Treadwell. Some of these rookies, man, they take a little while to get out of the bag and get rolling. So, hell yeah. The Vikings, if they hosted a Super Bowl in Minnesota, that would be freaking absurd. And I just don't see it happening. The defense, Harrison Smith, the defense is so much fun to watch. Robeson, Smith, Everson, Griffin, Linval. It's awesome, man. Can the Eagles defense stop Breeze? I just don't think so, because I think Mark Ingram can run it in the cold, man. I really do. Arik Armstead. Yeah, I mean, I had to look more at him, but, hasn't really been making a lot of plays in these games, and definitely a name guy, definitely a guy on paper that you expect to have more production from. So I agree, man. Saints-Rams, and the Rams take the Saints again out for a stroll. Rams win the NFC Championship. Hell yeah, you are dead right. Dead right, YMCA. I don't see the offense, and the Saints are too damn good. Free agents, again, like maybe Tremaine Johnson, DeMarcus Lawrence, all these guys are pretty good selections, honestly. And listen, Tremaine Johnson, I think, is going to be a freaking beast. So, yeah, I mean, how can you say anything terrible about these guys? Great position. Yeah, Pierre. I mean, Pierre's old, though, so he's going to have to battle it out now with Trent and these other guys, Like, I love Trent Taylor in the slot. I love Marquise. Kendrick Bourne is coming on. I mean, Pierre's kind of old, Do you really want that old? I mean, I just love the chemistry Jimmy has with these young kids, and George Kittle. You can maybe get Jimmy another tight end. Like, a guy I really want to see the Niners get, I want Mark Andrews in the second round. In Kyle Shanahan's offense, the tight end from Oklahoma, I think is going to be damn good. Thank you guys for hanging out. Great numbers on the stream. Again, the film review will be up this Thursday. Gonna do the live stream, and yeah. Anyway, man, really appreciate you guys coming in to hang and chill. And we'll see y'all on the flip side. Later, guys. Thanks again. Have a great night.